My name is Erinn Morgan, and I am the editor-in-chief and editorial director of Eyecare Business magazine. You guys have copies of Eyecare Business all around here if you'd like to take some with you. But this is our September issue. It's our big show issue, so it's a hefty one. And we have some great fall fashion trends in here as well. And we also have some great information on online sales, what is the status of online sales, and how some different ECPs across the country are competing with online sales. So it's a really great read if you have time to grab a copy. So we are here today to talk about fall's 5 biggest eyewear fashion trends. And why should you care about fashion trends for your business? That's the question. You know, we can show you lots of trends, we can show you lots of frames, but why does it matter to your eye care business? So I'll answer that question in a minute, but I'll begin here with a quote. And this is one of my favorite quotes. Fashion designer Marc Jacobs once said, "The customer is the final filter. What survives the whole process is what people wear." I'm not interested in making clothes that end up in some dusty museum. So you can choose, you know, lots of different types of frames for your business, for your frame board. But what matters is what people are actually going to wear and what they're going to walk away and be super happy with. So from a product perspective, no doubt the goal in your optical is to deliver really great style and really great construction and really great quality to the patient. We just did some recent survey for our eye care business readers, and eye care professionals rank frame styling as the #2 most important thing that they look at when buying frames. It was the second most important feature. Construction quality ranked #1, and then performance ranked #3 after styling. So fashion in general is a 1.2 trillion a year global industry. It's more than 250 billion spent annually in the US, and fashion trends drive sales, and that's why we're here today to talk about fashion trends. So I just wanted to say I'm kind of a statistics hound, so I write down a lot of statistics for these talks, but a recent study found that 59% of American women seek fashionable, trendy items when shopping. So obviously your female customers are definitely looking for fashion and trends in their eyewear as well as everything else that they're buying. So getting to know the latest runway trends doesn't just make good fashion sense, it makes good business sense. So before we get started, I just wanted to find out a little bit more about you guys and who is in the audience. So could you do me a favor and just raise your hand if you're an optician? Awesome. Lots of opticians. And raise your hand if you're an optometrist. All right, got some optometrists. And raise your hand if you're an office member or a member of the staff, an office manager or a member of the staff that handles frames or buys frames. Awesome. Well, welcome. Thank you guys for coming. We really appreciate it. It's great to see a diverse group of people. So first I'd like to introduce, this is our associate editor, Carrie-Ann Ramo. She's an amazing asset to our team, and she handles a lot of our new product coverage for the magazine. And I will be presenting the first 4 trends, and then Carrie-Ann's going to present the last trend, which relates to kind of 2 bonus trends that we have for you guys today. And this is Shayla from TNG Models here in Las Vegas, and she's going to be modeling the frames that we brought with us today that illustrate those trends. And these are frames that are here at the show, that are brand new in different collections. And if you would like to, feel free at the end to come up, take a look at what we have. You can see the trends a little bit more up close, because some things have a lot of detail on the temples or crystals or things that you won't, see quite as much. There you go. That one's so pretty. Okay, so we will get started with our trend. We have trend boards that we bring to these presentations, so you guys can really see the trends. So first off, Shayla will come out here. It's a Chopard optical style from Dorigo Rem with stunning gem detailing along the gold temples. It's just a really beautiful, very kind of classic, sophisticated frame. So many designers debuted. So our first trend is called sleek and luxurious. Many designers kind of had this trend on their runways for fall 17 season. It's a lot of very kind of sleek, it's very layered look, it's very sleek and nice underneath, and then kind of layered with fur and faux fur and things like that on the top. On the pictures here, we have some Max Mara, Marc Jacobs, Michael Kors, Versace. And the second look that she's coming around here with is a flirty and feminine Gigi Hadid for Vogue Eyewear sunglass from Luxottica. This is a new line. You guys may be familiar with it, but new line from Luxottica from their Vogue line that Gigi Hadid has. We met with them yesterday, and she really had a hand in designing this line and was very, very involved in the design. And she has a great sense of style, so obviously this looks, the product all looks really great. So next, she has a Longchamp optical style from Marchand. This is a newly launched collection at the show here with major inspirations from the brand, from the actual Longchamp's brand's luxurious leather bags and accessories. So overall, the sleek and luxurious trend is full of frames that are very fashionable. They're versatile styles that we found both worked on the runway as well as really for, you know, work and for your lifestyle, really easily wearable, but still very sleek and stylish. And last but not least, she's gonna wear a Lanvin sunglass from Dorigo Rem. We're seeing lots of earthy colors in the color palette this season, especially for this trend, as you can see on the trend board, lots of browns and camels and just really rich, beautiful colors. And yes, and this works, you know, with the eyewear as well to really kind of tie up the whole look. Okay, one of my favorite trends next, you won't miss this one. So red hot runway. I don't know if you guys have been seeing all the red frames for this season, but oh my gosh, it's incredible. And the funny thing is, as we try them on as we go around to the different booths, they really are wearable. I mean, a lot of them are very, very wearable. So this one is definitely a little more over the top, but this is a Fendi style called Runaway from Safilo. It's a very on-trend round with an aviator kind of inspired look. And you'll see that this sunglass also features, I don't know if you can see it from up here, but the Fendi logo, that Fendi F on the actual lenses. And that's kind of a new thing from Safilo. They have their own lens factory now in Italy called Lenti. And they've done some really, really innovative things with lenses where you look out, but you can't see it when you're looking out, but you can see it. It's a visual aesthetic thing on the exterior. So next, she is modeling a Lanvin acetate optical style from Dorigo Rem with the frame front in a cherry red, with the cherry red front, and then it's totally approachable and versatile copper tone temples and a modified square shape. So this is definitely a much more wearable red, very easy and just really pretty. Certainly looks good with your skin tone and dark hair coloring. So next she will model a Chloe sunglass from Marchand. And this is a subtle take on the red trend as well. Obviously, the shape of the frame is not subtle, but the treatment with red is very subtle. So that is just a really pretty rosy lens. That's also popping up in this red trend that we're seeing, and where the lenses are just kind of the look. And then the frame itself is a very neutral. This is kind of almost like a camel crystal color, really pretty. So this trend obviously is all about red. You know, the runway, we saw red trench coats, red over-the-knee boots, red everything, and just really popping. You're seeing a lot of head-to-toe red and red lips as well. So this is, the last one, okay. So finally, we have an elegant and luxurious but totally modern sunglass style from the new Calvin Klein 205 West 39 NYC collection from Marchand. So there's just a few frames in this debut kind of sub-collection from designer Raf Simons, who is brand new to Calvin Klein within the last year and has really kind of given the brand a very new look and very modern, very hip look. So these are kind of bring in the red, but in a very kind of super modern with this brow bar going across the top. Okay. This is a fun trend as well, psychedelic nostalgia. I love this. We have a quote here from Elle about this trend. And they say, summing up this trend, is designers looked to their aunt's living room this season, applying vintage floral prints to everything from casual tops to princess gowns. It's window and couch dressing taken literally. So we've taken a lot of these crazy prints from wallpaper and vintage furniture, and now it is relating to clothing. And the eyewear is a very nice complement to that, and it's kind of that very psychedelic but really vintage look to everything. So sorry, did you already go? Okay, so she just modeled the Ray-Ban Marshall sunglass from Luxottica, which is really a gorgeous look with these kind of beautiful lenses with the flash mirror and a really nice kind of copper gold, and that fits really well with this trend. So next up, she will wear a Marni sunglass from Marchand, which draws inspiration from that boldness of this trend, and it really represents the quirky and expressive essence of the Marni brand. So this trend is, really a throwback print trend, and then the eyewear is really something to complement it and just to tie it all together. There's so much going on the clothing with this trend that we keep the eyewear kind of simple and sophisticated. So the next style is a police optical frame from Dorigo Rem, and this kind of is a real cool mix of colors, and it really ups the ante here with this trend with the kooky and psychedelic factor. And there's a floral print on the temples that you may be able to catch as she's going by, but again, if you'd like to look at any of this a little bit closer up at the end, feel free to pop by. But just a real great combo of this kind of cool color on the front, and then the floral temples that ties it all together. And then last here, she's modeling a Dior So Real Pop sunglass from Safilo. It has a really fresh pop on the purple lenses, a really unique shape. We're seeing so many unique shapes, especially in sunwear at the show this time around, but yet they're still very wearable, which is really interesting. And this, we're also seeing a lot of pastel sherbet colored lenses, which kind of born from the 70s, but really popular again today. Okay, this is one of my favorite trends. It's just so pretty and elegant, but yet really, really bold. So first up here, she has a Longchamp sunglass from Marchand, and this is a signature round shape with a special Paris Premiere hinge. So it's just a really big, bold, oversized, heavy shape. But what's happening with this trend is we're seeing a lot of kind of delicate dresses and lingerie-inspired apparel, and then the eyewear is going really bold on the top to really make a statement. And it's a really interesting trend because this is the trend where eyewear has the final say. It's very delicate on the bottom, but eyewear is really strong on the top. So this is a Kate Spade optical style from Safilo. The subtle and delicate accent here is the inside cheetah print on the temples. I don't know if you want to, at some point, Shayla, maybe take it off and pull off the glasses, and you can show folks the inside temple. Perfect. So a nice cheetah print in there, and again, that kind of, this trend is tying in really dark, kind of heavier black looks on the top with that delicate look on the bottom. So this next style is a Nina Ricci style from Dorigo Rem, an optical style. The gold temples and bridge add a really sophisticated touch to the glasses. So again, in this trend, we're seeing really dainty interpretations of the cami and the slip dress, and then it gets real kind of bold and funky with the eyewear on the top. And then the last style that she will model is an Etro sunglass from Marchand. You can spot the delicate detailing on the side. It's just really pretty on the sides of the frame front. Some gorgeous silver and really intricate detailing up there. So on our trend board here, you can see all our photos, and we actually have copies of this trend board presentation that are kind of around if you'd like to take any with you. And if anyone wants, I can email you a PDF of the copy, so just pop up here and give me your email address. But on the front here, we have looks from Prada and Chloe and Dolce & Gabbana. Awesome. All right, and then I'm gonna pass over the last trend to Carrie Ann. Thank you. And are there two more? Oh, that's right.
Yep. Yeah, okay, so we'll round out the women's trends with a funky, masculine-inspired, masculine musings trend. So we'll kick it off with a Calvin Klein sunglass from Marchand. It's a titanium frame with this really versatile shape and these silver futuristic lenses. So as you can see on the board, there's really like trench coats, it's all about oversized coats and blazers, and even more standard, pantsuits that are right on trend for fall. So on Shayla this time, it's a silver Dior optical style from Safilo, and it has an on-trend, oversized but minimalist construction, and ultra-thin metal temples, and a fashion-forward modern shape. So, I think the question is, how do you incorporate eyewear into this masculine musings trend? And what we saw was really, modern, almost space age, but minimalist eyewear looks to kind of tie this whole look together. So then we have a John Varvatos titanium frame in black from De Riga Rem. And as you can see, this looks awesome for the ladies as a unisex style. And we couldn't, cover this barge from the boys trend without touching on a collection that really works. Women even flock towards the John Varvatos eyewear collection, and it just looks really, really great on women as well. And then to round out this trend, we have a really unique Givenchy sunglass from Safilo, and it features, I don't know if you can see, but kind of shimmers with this Givenchy logo on the lenses. And these are also crafted, as Erinn said, at Safilo's unique lens factory in Italy. So to round out this trend, Vogue, to quote Vogue, they described it as Pantsuit Nation. Designers from Stella McCartney to Victoria Beckham serve no-frills takes on power women this season. Yeah, awesome. Yeah. So then we'll do a little bonus trends. I know, of course, we want to do some men's trends. So as you can see, the look for men on the runway was really these, utilitarian trench coats, but topped off with really sleek eyewear. So first we have, So first we have this Calvin Klein optical from Marchand, and it's, a really no-nonsense look. It's really minimalist, like the other masculine musings trend. And then we have a Tekka acetate and metal combination, and it has really sleek engravings on the bridge and the temple. And of course, when you come up, if you want to check them out in more detail. So the overall trend for men is just really utilitarian trench coats and really, no-nonsense looks. And one of our favorite trends is this rock and roll, rebellious spirit. We've been covering with John Varvatos. They have a new face of the brand, Machine Gun Kelly, and he's just this really, rebellious spirit and wants this Renaissance man. And so, of course, we have to cover a John Varvatos sunglass. It's the Stardust style from De Riga Rem, and it was actually inspired by the 1970s British rock scene. So it goes perfectly within this rocker rebellion trend. And then finally, to round it out, we have a U-Rock style. It's called Pumped from Modern Optical. And U-Rock is all about this edgy, kind of cool styling, and it's geared towards college to, preteens to college, to really touch on that edgy, cool rocker look. So I'll have Erinn round it out.
Thank you. So thank you so much for joining us for our pop-up talk on Fall and Winter's 5 biggest +2 men's bonus fashion trends for eyewear. And we hope you take away some great ideas for your eye care business and for your frame boards and for your selection and for your bottom line. And I'll turn it over to questions here in a minute, and we have a really fun giveaway for you guys. But I just wanted to end with a quote from, also a favorite quote from one of someone that we've actually photographed and interviewed in Eye Care Business many, many moons ago, the original supermodel, Lauren Hutton. She says, "Fashion is what you're offered 4 times a year by designers, and style is what you choose." So that's definitely a great takeaway for your frame merchandising and what you're going to buy for your boards. So we're definitely going to open it up to questions now if anybody has questions or would like to ask more or see more about the frames. And so our giveaway is this awesome book. We have 2 of them, and it's called Fashion, A History from the 18th to the 20th Century, and it's from the Kyoto Costume Institute, and it's a gorgeous photography book of trends from, you know, the 18th to the 20th century in fashion. So there's definitely some eyewear in here, but a really great book. And I do have to admit that it is super heavy. So for the first 2 people that ask questions, we will give away this book. So anyone? All right.
So I really liked a lot of the pieces that you showed. They were really beautiful. I just wanted that book. Maybe I should just ask you to restate in your magazine. No, I'm just kidding. Are there any other specific trends that you've noticed besides these 5 that you wanted to comment on, perhaps?
Sure. I mean, there is so much, you know, going on at the show, and obviously today is the second day of the show, and we've seen a lot of product. You know, I think one of the things that we're seeing is some really great, for women's, we're seeing great pinks. You know, that was a trend that we covered at our last pop-up talk at Vision Expo East, and it's really coming into play. But I think it's a lot of softer pinks and some real, like, it becomes more wearable now. Like, I think when it was first introduced, it maybe wasn't quite as wearable, but some really great pinks. So, and in terms of men's, I would just say I'm seeing a lot of like vintage classics, but really given a twist. That's the focus of our next issue, which is our October issue, and we have men's fashion trends. But we're seeing, like, we just saw the new Safilo collection, and they kind of are relaunching that collection, which has been around for a very long time. But it's really reimagined to some kind of really vintage, older looking classic styles, but they have such cool modern updates. So I think men, there's so much opportunity now for them.
It's in that. That's it.
Okay, Mark has an example. This is our publisher of Eye Care Business, Mark Durek over here, Facebook Living. And he has the Safilo frames, which he's been wearing. And they're just really beautiful. These are actually on our cover for the October issue. So thank you, Mark. Anyway, you had a question. Exactly. There you go.
Quick question. I missed the session this morning talking about some trends, and someone mentioned something about dealing with the brow. Is that something new that they're going to start embellishing on the brow or something?
Sure. Do you mean for men or women or both? Both. Yeah. I mean, we're definitely seeing, it's kind of like the Calvin Klein, if you could pull that one up, the middle, the Raf Simons one. Yeah. I mean, there's so much interest going on in the brow, and that's a great point, because there really is, but it's not just this. You know, you've seen these kind of super cool, you've seen there's a million takes on aviators now, you know, and everything has an aviator bar now because it's become so hip. So it's just, there's definitely a lot of that, and we've seen a lot of, you know, even like crystals on the top of the brow, but on the tip top, you know, not on the front, but like on the very, very top. So I think that's a great point, because there's a lot of interest in the brow right now, and I think you'll see that continuing, because it's really just kicking off right now. Anyway, we're out of books, but if anyone else has a question, feel free to ask, or feel free to come on up. Oh.
Are there any trends that you are seeing dying? Like, what would you say is going out of style?
That's a really good question. I think I would say things that are, I mean, obviously there's always going to be a place for basics, but I think we're seeing even the basics getting reimagined and twisted into modern, you know, with brow bars and things like that. So I think you'll see less basic rectangles and basic rounds, and you know, rounds are kind of hot again, but they're in really fresh, updated, modern ways. So I think you'll see that kind of super basic look is I mean, there's always going to be a customer for that, right? But I think you'll see, hopefully, even the basic customer kind of gets excited by those updates. So yeah. Anybody else? Yeah, sure. Yeah, we actually just saw some leather at John Barbados, and we heard it was very difficult to produce. You know, the like kind of leather with like embedded in studs and all kinds of stuff. And I've seen a lot of real leather around, you know, and I have seen wood, but I think I feel like I haven't seen as much wood maybe as we were seeing, you know, a couple of seasons ago or a couple of years ago. I think that seems to be kind of stable. Yeah, but leather, I think, because that rock and roll thing, right? You're going to see a lot more leather coming into play. Yeah, which is fun. Awesome. All right, well, thank you, everybody, for coming. Feel free to come on up, or if you want a copy of the trend boards, I'll give you my card, and you can send me your email address. And thanks for coming.